welcome to Mylegislatortv, and we're here in the hometown of Governor Brad Henry, Shawnee, Oklahoma. Governor Henry, how does it feel to be back at home?
Oh, it always feels great to be back at home. You know, Kim and I try to come back to Shawnee every Sunday. Her parents live here, and we've been doing Sunday dinner with Kim's family for almost 30 years now. So if we're in state, we're back in Shawnee on Sundays. But it's always good to come back and just see all of the old friends. I mean, so many people from Shawnee are a part of who I am. So it's wonderful. You know, Kim and I are both a product of Shawnee Public Schools. Our children are. We own property here. I still am registered to vote here. Yeah. So this is my hometown, and I love Shawnee.
Well, and ingrained in all of us, of course, is our public school system, which you mentioned, and Shawnee's going through some growth at that time. Talk a little bit about the really exciting things that are going on in a national level of a grant program that could help all of Oklahoma.
Well, of course, you're referring to the Race to the Top grants, and Race to the Top is a big competition. There are about $5 billion on the table, but we're told from federal authorities that probably only a handful of states, maybe 5, maybe 6 states are going to get the grant. So that means big dollars for the states, and Oklahoma, by all accounts, is competitive in this process. We're in the top 10. We are going to pull out all the stops and do everything we can to get a Race to the Top grant, which will bring hundreds of millions of dollars into our state for education. We're going to have to be bold in our educational proposals. We're going to have to talk about things that are a little sensitive, like how do you eliminate effective teachers or rid the system of ineffective teachers. Excuse me. You don't want to get rid of effective teachers. What you want to do is encourage effective teachers. Everybody agrees that the teacher is the most important component of the educational system and are the ones who really can change the students the most. And so part of the discussion is certainly going to be performance pay for teachers. And I really think that if you bring the teachers to the table and let them help craft the solution, then I think they will agree to it. I mean, I think teachers want to be paid for the jobs that they do. And when they do a good job, they want to be paid better, and teachers deserve to be paid better. So that will be just one small component of the Race to the Top grant application, I predict. We've got a whole steering committee working on it. I've appointed the mayor of Tulsa, Kathy Taylor, once she finishes her term in December, to come back to my cabinet and lead this effort, as well as my other education initiatives. But education reform will be, I think, front and center on the agenda next year.
Well, and there is nothing more important to all of us as Oklahomans, whether we're here locally or throughout the entire state, than the education of our kids. And you have emphasized that. You and, of course, the First Lady have emphasized that since the beginning. Right. It is dear to your heart. Explain, if you would, some of the things that you are so proud of that have passed and have happened since you've been governor.
Well, I think you're right. It certainly, I think my proudest accomplishments would be in the area of education, although we've accomplished things in healthcare. We've set up what is being hailed as the national model in our Insure Oklahoma program, which is something I'm very proud of. But in education, I'm proud that we've raised teacher pay more dramatically than at any other period of time in our state's history. And you know, I set a goal several years ago to raise teacher salaries to at least the regional average, and we've gotten very close to that. The downturn in the economy has sort of put the brakes on that process for the time being. But we raised 2 new revenue sources for education. We implemented, for the first time, a program to pay for health insurance for our teachers. The first time in history we do that. We've done that. We implemented full-day kindergarten to give parents more options. It's not mandatory, but they have more options. If they want half-day kindergarten or full-day kindergarten, they have those options available. We've done so many things in the area of education, but the one thing that I'm probably proudest of is that we have focused on early childhood education, and all of the brain experts out there tell us that children, especially those from a disadvantaged background, who have a quality early educational experience, perform better academically later in school. They read at higher levels. They're more likely to graduate high school, more likely to go to college, less likely to end up in prison or a life of crime or a life of drugs. That's what we need to do. And those are the kinds of students we need to produce. And it all starts in early childhood, quality early childhood settings like 3-year-old and 4-year-olds. All of this is voluntary. Oklahoma leads the nation, and we provide college, degreed, and early childhood certified teachers. We limit the class sizes. It's purely voluntary for parents, but guess what? About 90% of Oklahoma's parents have taken advantage of our 4-year-old programs, and we need to begin to expand that more and more to 3-year-olds. We've got some 3-year-old pilots in place. We've got some birth to 3 pilots in place for, again, mainly for disadvantaged children. But that's something that I'm very proud of that will make a huge difference and pay huge dividends in Oklahoma, not tomorrow or by the next election, but 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, a generation down the line. We will see the difference, and Oklahoma will leapfrog so many other states.
And bringing it a little bit back home for you, an alum of Shawnee High School, of course, they go through their first football season undefeated since you and I were just a child, huh?
It's been 36 years. Let's see, I was 10 years old the last time Shawnee had an undefeated football season, 1973. So it's pretty exciting. I think they're well positioned in the bracket to make a competitive run at the state championship.
And any, excuse me, any predictions on what may transpire?
Well, I will say this. I think Shawnee Wolves have a very good chance of making it to the championship game. And if they do that, I think they have as good a chance as the other team, whoever that may be, likely El Reno or Tulsa Kelly, to win it all.
You heard it here first on Mylegislator.tv. Governor, thank you as always for the opportunity to speak with you.
Always a pleasure. You bet.